Welcome back to another video. We are looking at the, not the newest Tory Lanez project, but the second to newest. I've already talked about his newest. This one is Slutty based, or well, to be technical on the title, LOL Slutty based. I don't know what the LOL at the beginning is for. I guess he's laughing out loud. Anyway, this is the last Tory Lanez project before his recent rapping one, where he did a complete like tonal and genre switch to making this more electrical dance music. Apparently, he made every lick of this when he was in jail, and he finished it right before his stabbing. I don't know if y'all heard about that. It was where Tory Lanez got stabbed in jail. Like I think it was like 50 times. It might not have been. It wasn't 50. He got stabbed like 5 times, I think. 50 sounds way too crazy. But he had a stabbing, and this is what the album that he finished right before the stabbing. He hyped it up pretty good. Had India Love on in a trailer for the album. And to be honest with you, I kind of think it's just kind of middle of the road. I'm not a big fan, but I'm also not a hater of this project. But before we get into that, I want you guys to subscribe. If you don't subscribe, I'm gonna cry, and that who wants to see that happen? Anyway, getting into this album, I was pretty excited because whenever Tory Lanez has kind of done his little genre shifts, like at Alone at Prom or on Playboy, I've really liked it. And, I was hoping to really like this one, but then when I heard the first single, which is Slide, which is the intro, which, by the way, I apologize that I can't find an official image of the track list. Maybe I'll find one while I'm editing and end up using it. If it's different colors, ignore it, but, I don't think I'm just probably not going to use that picture. Anyway, Slide ended up being a kind of really long 5-minute song that I didn't dislike at all, but it is a lot of the instrumental sounds great, and I think the instrumentals for the most part sound great across the whole project, which is only 15 songs, which isn't bad. However, he manages to make 15 songs turn into 53 minutes. That's almost an hour. So on this intro song, Slide, like I was talking about, it was, if I'm not mistaken, it's like a 5-minute song. I'm going to click it here and look. It is. Oh, well, I lied. It's 3 minutes and 53 seconds. It's a 4-minute song. So, but it's nothing crazy. A lot of it is him repeating the hook over and over again on a beat that, is really good, but I want to hear something a little different, and it's just not really. After about a couple minutes of it, I, I kind of wanted the song to be over with, and it has 2 more minutes to go. I found that problem probably across the whole project, besides like a couple songs. Like, I don't think Wonton Soup is too long. Aggression from Saturn is a pretty good length. And like Best Birthday Ever, probably. Which is kind of odd because this album is, I think it's paced well, even though it is way too long. A lot of the songs are, you know, way too long. But like from beginning to end, it's not like I lose interest because like I think the like little 3-track run from Saturn, Bulma's Patience to Aggression from Saturn, I really like Aggression from Saturn. And then that kind of goes into Wonton Soup and Pink Material. I like those. There is a little middle streak here, Keys to Vampa, The Hate of Friends, and SMO. Those 3 are fine. They're okay songs. And then we go into Jan's Cotton Candy. I like that. Krillin's Fumble's fine. Fine Shit Paradise is good. Nobody Land is fine. And then Best Birthday Ever and Party for Martians are a good way to close out the album. In my opinion, a lot of these songs, it's not that I necessarily don't like them, but besides the ones that I listed to you, a lot of them are forgettable. Besides the ones that I've listened to more than once, I couldn't tell you what a single one of these songs sounded like. And on paper, that's not that crazy, but like, because again, it was just one listen, but like, that's saying something that I'm listening to this album from start to finish for 53 minutes. And yeah, I was in my car, and maybe that wasn't the intended space to be listening to this album, because Tory Lanez was very active saying that this is an album you're supposed to dance to. Voice crack, wow. It's my snotty nose. You're supposed to dance to this album. You're supposed to have a good time. You're supposed to be in a party, in a club, like, just mindlessly kind of dancing to it. You know what I mean? And you can feel that, but, like, and I can kind of get that. I can kind of get that, But I personally, I'm not gonna dance to these songs, you know, and I'm not even because I'm not an avid dancer, obviously, but like they're all just kind of the same formulaic thing. And maybe that's my mistake for not understanding the genre he was trying to make. This kind of electrical dance music, EDM. I'm an idiot. EDM. But like, I just personally do not mesh with that well. When Drake did it on Honestly Nevermind, I didn't like him doing it either. And I wouldn't even call this EDM. Or, well, Drake didn't really make EDM, he made house music. Which maybe those two are the same things, but like, I don't know. When I'm listening to this project, it gets very repetitive, very quick on certain songs. Like, even Wonton Soup, the only reason I really like it is because the hook sounds funny. Like, Drake said, where the fuck the function? I said, where the wonton? Like, I think that's Wonton Soup, Wonton Soup, Wonton Soup. Like, it's a funny little hook, and I find it enjoyable, even though that's the main part of the song. There are a couple of like, you know, little voice changes that he does here and there, certain hooks. Some of the flows he does on these beats are nice. You know, sometimes his voice sounds good for the most part, but like none of it is just that crazy to me. You know, none of it is that well made. None of it is that good to me where I feel like giving it anything more than a 6 out of 10, and that's what I'm feeling, a 6 out of 10. It's just not, it's just an album. You know what I mean? It's not bad. It's not great. It's an album he made. Am I glad he made it? Yeah, you know. I do think it's impressive. I said this about the last review about his newest album. I think it's very impressive that he made this album probably completely from jail. At least that's what he's leading us to believe, is that these are made completely from jail. His sound engineer is going crazy. I do think an album like this would probably be easier to make over a jail phone because you're more so focused on the instrumentals and like adding effects to your voice already. So this one was probably easier to make, but that doesn't take away the fact he's from jail, you know? And I do think that's impressive. If people might want to dunk on him, you gotta admit that's impressive. But yeah, I'm feeling a 6 out of 10. My voice keeps cracking because my nose is stopped up and I can't stand it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If y'all want to subscribe, you want to, you know, tune into the next ones, you need to hit the bells. You need to hit the bell. You need to comment. You need to subscribe, please. I love you guys. Hope you are having a great day. If you don't subscribe, I'm going to whip your ass.